Hello, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a couple of different parts to the business that I've not showed in previous videos. So for those of you who don't know, I primarily sell on eBay, but I also sell a lot of Lego on Amazon and other bits and pieces, and also run a Bricklink store, so for individual Lego parts. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to kind of leave most of the eBay to one side for today and quickly show you a couple of the orders that I've had on Bricklink and then the items that I'm shipping out on Amazon today. So for those of you who don't know, if you have a Lego set that you're trying to complete, maybe you've got some missing pieces, or there's a custom Lego set you'd like to build, maybe you found instructions online or something like that, there are websites you can go to buy the Lego parts that you need. So the biggest one of those is called Bricklink. It's owned by Lego directly. There are others, Brickowl, which is a good alternative. But Bricklink and Brickowl, I have stores set up for these. My store is relatively small. It has about 30,000 parts. And actually I store all my parts in something like this. I'll put a picture up here. And it makes up a small-ish part of my business. It only, maybe it turns over £3,000 to £4,000 a year, something like that. I've got a few of those orders that I've just picked, so I'm going to give you a rough idea of, what people have spent on these parts, and really whether it's worth me carrying on with this part of the business, because I'm a little undecided at this point. Okay, so I'm going to show you the orders for Bricklink now, and then kind of run through some of the economics of it, which will give you an idea of my thought process about whether this is worth carrying on or not. Because remember as well, it's not just the picking of these orders and the shipping of these orders, it's also the time taken to take a Lego set or a whole bunch of cheap used Lego and actually put it into the inventory. That takes a really long time. So I'll show you the orders now. So the first three orders are actually really small. This is literally a Lego Friends headpiece. That entire order, it's literally one part, came to like £2.75. Now obviously, so actually the first three orders I'm going to show you here, they'll all fit in a large letter. So it's going to cost £1.55 to ship them. There is a PayPal fee of something like 40p-ish for each of these orders. So actually when you factor all of this in, really all three of these first three orders really only net me around about £1, something like that. So although £1 for one Lego head isn't too bad, two parts here, I think that's an Ninjago mask and a plate, and then this one is a Minecraft fox and a like a drill bit, I think, or like a Lego drill. Ooh. I think that order was like £3, but honestly these are all very, very small orders. Then orders like this come in as well sometimes. So this one is obviously a much bigger order. It's actually about 750 parts roughly, but it is almost entirely basic bricks. Quite easy to pick these, in all honesty. They're not the hardest orders to pick, but individual Lego bricks, as you might imagine, are worth barely anything, a couple of pence each. I mean, this entire order, including the shipping, they paid about £25, something like that. The shipping will be more for this one, obviously, but we're still only talking about sort of £3.55-ish, I think, to send it tracked 48. So it gives you a rough idea here. Like, this order's not too bad, although it was a fair bit of picking. These really make me no money at all. So what do you think? Is it worth carrying on with Bricklink? The issue I've got is that I can't really scale it much more. I can't allocate an entire room to Lego parts because there's other stuff that I need to store as well. I will say Bricklink is very consistent. There's always orders typically coming in every day. Just a small amount to kind of turn the stock over. It's also really useful if I buy bulk Lego to be able to pull out the individual figures and things like that and be able to list them in one place without using up eBay listings all the time, with listing insertion fees and things. So it is nice to have somewhere else to put Lego parts. Or if I sell a Lego set on Amazon and someone returns it, already open box or something like that, I can just put those parts in my store. So it has its pros and cons, but let me know in the comments what you would do for sort of £3,500 to £4,000 a year. Would you bother to run a Bricklink store? So I've started picking up a few more books recently. There's one of my local charity shops sells pretty much all books for 60p. Sometimes they're reduced down to 30. This one was actually a 30p book. It's quite an old one. It's kind of obviously about the Lego manufacturing business, but it's designed for kids. I've had it on eBay for a little while. Again, 30p pickup, sold for just under £7, I think £6.79, something like that. Okay, so this one is a Vinted sale that went through. It's the Paw Patrol power. It is missing, there should be like a sound pool that goes in there, but there is a periscope which does work. It does have discoloration, which I mentioned, but this one was picked up for £1 from a charity shop and sold on Vinted for 10, I believe. No, scrap that, it's £8 I sold it for, but hey, look, £1 to 8, free shipping for me, all good. Okay, so this one also sold on Vinted. It was listed for less than a day, picked up in a charity shop for what ended up being £3.33 because it was bundled with a few other items. But it's sold on Vinted without the skateboard, bear in mind, so it had almost everything except the skateboard, sold for £8, so not too bad for a couple of hours. So in this video, we've already talked a little bit about the eBay business. I'm going to be showing you some Vinted sales. And we've been talking about Bricklink and selling Lego parts. The last thing I'm going to show you is a few of the sets that I've sold on Amazon today. Obviously, it's around Christmas time. Lego is flying off the shelves. So the Amazon Lego sales, they make up, not quite, but just under half of my overall business revenue. So I'll show you the sets that I'm shipping out today. So the first one is this set 40529, which is like the children's fairground adventure set. These Lego were actually giving these away for free a while ago now, a couple of years back. You could actually pick them up back in the day by using a promo code as well, from one of the papers like the Metro or something like that. So these were totally free. This one sold on Amazon for £15.99. So we've also sold 2 of these Speed Champion sets. These are the 007 James Bond set 76911. These were picked up back in the day for around about £11 a unit, maybe £11.50, and they're now selling. So both of these sold for £41.99 on Amazon. I've got a few more left to sell, but I might wait till next year for those. So a lot of people refuse to buy Lego City sets for investment, but if you get them cheap enough, they can be worth it. This is the Slushy Van, set 60384. I was picking these up for £10 a unit back on Amazon. I think possibly just last year. They're now selling for £30.95. And just to prove that not all Lego investments can be winners, I've sold this set at a slight loss, 40658. I have a few of these. I thought they were going to be more in demand than they were. There's kind of an interesting Star Wars scene on the Millennium Falcon, a Christmas scene there. So I picked up a few of these last year for £26 per set. This one, after the Amazon fees, I only get 25 quid, and I still got to pay roughly £3 to ship it. So yeah, there is a loss on this one. I'm going to be probably making a loss on the rest of them as well. So for anyone who's stuck around this long, I really do appreciate you watching. We've gone through a lot today. I've talked about Bricklink and eBay, Amazon, Vinted. So if you find any of this interesting or you'd like to see more content from me, please hit like, and I would really appreciate a subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next one.